You know, as much as I love the song Circle of Life, I've never actually been told the English translation before. Luckily, I've managed to find some of it, and okay, here we go. Here comes a lion, father. Oh, yes, it's a lion. Here comes a lion, father. Oh, yes, it's a lion. A lion. We're going to conquer. Yeah, okay, I'm sticking with the Zulu version. In 1994, after the success of Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, Disney released its 30-second animated feature, The Lion King. And yes, you all know it, and you've all seen it. And it's pretty much one of Disney's best, with interesting characters, a powerful story that may be considered to be inspired by Shakespeare's Hamlet. Although with some similarities to Henry IV Part 1 and 2, I might add. But still Shakespeare. And a bit of similarities with Bambi as well. Oh god, what? Lion King has breathtaking animation and of course memorable songs written by Elton John and Tim Rice, along with a great instrumental score by Hans Zimmer. After the success of the Broadway adaptation of Beauty and the Beast, and considering that Lion King was very popular at the box office, this must have encouraged a stage adaptation that opened in 1997 on Broadway and then to the West End in 1999, and has become one of the longest running musicals in history. Much like Beauty and the Beast, The Lion King has several additions for the stage, such as songs including Shadowland, Endless Night, and They Live in You, which is also included in the direct-to-DVD sequel. Other additions including scenes which mainly show more comedy from Timon and Pumbaa, but also we see more of the desperation of the lionesses during Scar's reign, and therefore Nala's decision to find help, so it's good to see how Nala has grown up compared to how Simba has grown up. Not much is different as far as the stories and characters. What the difference is, and this is probably why the Broadway show is as successful as it is how they tell the story. And that's, of course, with puppetry. Of course, the challenge of The Lion King is that all the characters are animals, and so a lot of creativity had to be made, but thanks to director and designer Julie Taymor, many puppets and masks and gorgeous costumes were made with a lot of texture, colour and personality. This could help the main characters become animalistic, such as the power and wisdom of Mufasa, the menace of Scar, the humour of Timon and Pumbaa, the grace but toughness of Nala, etc. One of the things that was very interesting to me when I was learning acting in my A-levels was the exercise of animalization, where if your character was an animal, what would it be and how would you channel that into your performance? However, with Lion King, yeah, that's pretty much the majority, and it was very interesting to see that from the actors. But the puppetry was not only useful to help the actors become these animals, but it was also to help create certain scenes and therefore create a certain atmosphere. A big example would be the stampede, as the scene was so big in the movie, but how would you transfer that to a stage? It managed to create the same feeling by different sized puppets and masks and using different levels on the stage and lighting and of course the original music score. Another scene, of course, would be the Circle of Life, with many of the animals coming together with the sun rising, as well as Rafiki's cry out to the audience with some of the ensemble in the boxes, and it involves the audience in the story and lets them travel to the Pride Lands to celebrate the birth of the new Lion Prince. Really, The Lion King on Broadway knows how to create moments for the audience and lets us see things through Simba's eyes, and so it can be seen as a coming-of-age story. And so they try to show as many emotions of life, hence why the opening song is called The Circle of Life. Much like the movie, it shows these emotions of love, grief, fun, responsibility, etc. through music and visuals, like the epic quality of Circle of Life, the fun in Can't Wait to Be King, the compassion in Can You Feel the Love Tonight, but even some of the dances like the Grasslands or the Lioness Hunt. One of the things I love seeing is how the puppetry works, by actually seeing the actors operating them, as it kind of gives them more personality. And it's not just the animals, but it's also some of the plants and vegetation, giving more of the sense of life. Again, making a statement to the Circle of Life. So you've got the puppetry, you got the music, you got interesting characters, a story, stories inspired by the bard William Shakespeare. So at the end of the day, Lion King is pretty much seen as big, much like how it is in the movie. And since Broadway is a place where stories can seem big to an audience, yeah, it seems like Broadway can certainly welcome a story like The Lion King. It lets us into the world of the animals and their culture and ways of seeing, as well as showing the many emotions of life, with the grand theme of what it means to be king. So with that, it kind of makes the story seem bigger, much bigger. And so if you want the feeling when you see a Broadway show, The Lion King will not disappoint, and it clearly hasn't for years. So, we've been to the Beast's Castle, we've been to the Savannah in the Pride Lands. So, where am I gonna go for the next Disney Broadway review? I'm perhaps thinking Under the Sea. I'll see you next time, guys. Bye.